this is Diego again. Welcome back to another Cyberpatriot video for Windows. This time we're going to be working on security options for local policies. Okay, so last week we left off with 6 out of 66 vulnerabilities, and we already done some audit policies, and we did the account policies. Okay, so let's begin now. So the first option right here, administrator account status, we want to set this to disabled. Since what this does is basically at login it'll show whether this account exists or not. So we don't want really anyone. You want to kind of remain a little bit mysterious, so you don't give the access like attacker like any free information stuff that you can use against us. Same thing for the guest. You want to disable that. Cool. All right. Next one, limit local account use of blank passwords to console login only. We want to have it to enable. It's already enabled, so we leave it alone. And what this does is basically doesn't allow any blank passwords to any local user when they do console login. Okay. So next thing is if we want to rename the administrator account, we often want to do. So this one I'm just gonna call him dude. It doesn't matter, as long as you can change something else, that's fine. So I'm just gonna put mine dude. That's it. And then rename guest account. So if you remember the README it gave us, so it specified that if I can find it, let's see where is it? Oh, rename, let's see if it pops up. Alright, here it is. Rename the guest account to the most privileged user on the system. So technically there's probably other admins, but for this one we're gonna want to put the name of administrator, since that is by default the most privileged user on the system. So I'm gonna do that right now. Administrator. And the reason they ask us is because this is a way of tricking, attackers saying, "Oh, attack this user that's known administrator," and when they do, they figure out, "Oh, you've been tricked, my dude," and it's a guest account. So wah. Or you technically could just change it to anything else, but for this one, they pull a little bit smart move. This you can leave it alone for now. We're not gonna go too in depth into each one. That'll be for another video to go into more advanced local security policy. We're gonna go for the most kind of like basic stuff you want to put a bit of advanced, but just mostly basic. So we'll leave this. We leave this. These are some audit stuff. We leave this alone. This one, if you want, you can enable it, sure, because sometimes printing services are not needed unless it says in the README. Usually they're not really needed. So if you want, you could do this as an extra measure. Like the format and check movable media, to leave that alone. So this one, yes. Okay, so here's a basic one right here. So restrict CD-ROM access to locally logged on user only. So this is restrict any physical storage disks, like maybe like a hard drive or a flash drive or something like that. So we're gonna apply because we don't want, because technically we didn't know machines can just be hacked by the use of a USB, or just even like turning on your computer with the USB with certain files in it. So you don't want that. Okay, so same thing over here with floppy access, floppy disk. If I remember right. Yes, remove floppy media. So old, but still possible. So we want to enable that. To not allow that to be on the computer. We want to keep going. Display user information when session is locked. I would say do not display user information at all, because again, that gives us the attacker more information. Like we want to make his job more harder and make him do twice the work. So yeah, should be like that. Okay. And if this is given point, then we'll probably just have to set this to only display usernames. but it should be the right answer. So okay, next one, do not display last username. Yes. Enable that. Apply. Okay. I'm just gonna double check the video is loading. Cool, the video is loading. Okay, cool, perfect. Okay. Next one. So this is another basic one. So do not require Control Alt Delete. This one, how they word it is it's a bit tricky, but for this one we're gonna have to put disabled, because it's basically saying we don't need this and this is for login, so we don't need this for login. So if you enable this, it will say, oh, we don't need this for login. But in the README, it specifies that we do right here. Require users to press Control Delete and login. And obviously, they won't do this in README. They won't tell you specifically. Here, just being nice, but they would in Cyberpatriot they would expect you to know to do this. So to have this disabled. So so what it means is basically it's going to require to do all Control Delete every time you log in. And this is good against anyone talking to the script or something like that. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Keep going. This is network stuff, network access. Going. Shares can be accessed anonymously. Okay, so this is which shares would be done, so there should be nothing in there, because obviously that means like someone is doing it secretly. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Force log off when login hours expire. Oh. Let's see what it says. It says keep whether it's users. Yes, but not really, because it doesn't really specify it needs this, and this is only for like if it tells you. But just keep in mind. All right, let's keep going. There's quite a bit of stuff. Okay, here's another one. So that the machine does want. So system shutdown, allow system to be shut down without having to log on. So disabled. So we want it to, as it's specified in README, we want it to shut down only when you log in. And here's another one, actually, really good one. So clear virtual memory page file. We want this to be enabled. Okay, so we want to set this to enabled, since in a hardware sense, if you're familiar with RAM, RAM stores your information, and when you shut down your computer, when you shut down your computer, it deletes all your information. However, for Windows, your information can be stored on your page file, something known as a page file, and we want that to be cleared, as if someone smart starts snooping around, they can find some sensitive data. Keep going, and I believe that should be it for now. So okay, so I have to look at the README. I actually realized that we have to rename the administrator to Cyberpatriot specifically. So I'm going to do that right now and change what I put before. So put Cyberpatriot, and that should satisfy it. And we should be done with basic security options for local security policies. And obviously we go to our README and see how well we did. And let it boot, let it refresh to scan for if we got everything correct. So I'll see you in the next 30 seconds. Alright, we're back, and we can see that it finally scanned everything, and we actually ended up getting quite a bit of points. So we ended up getting 17 of 66 vulnerabilities found, which is 25.76. Oh, it keeps going. Oh, look at it refresh still. Okay, so let's go back again. Okay, so we're back, and we can see that we get quite a bit of points of it, or scored vulnerabilities from it. This one's not going to show points, but it shows us our scored vulnerabilities and what the percentage is. So we got, out of that, 17 out of 66 vulnerabilities scored, which is about 25.76 and a quarter way through. That was quick. And see, if we can review it, we can see, as it says here, security policy. Okay, rename guest account, security policy, or security option, I mean, rename guest account. Security option, restrict CD-ROM access to locally logged on user only. Security option, devices restrict floppy access to locally logged on user only. Security option, interactive login, do not display last username. And then like, it keeps going and keeps going based off what we basically did. So require, and then allow system to shut down without having to log on. Has been properly configured, my bad. Not that we configured this specifically, no, that this option has been configured properly. And then the last one, of course. Alright, that concludes our section for security options for Windows local security policies. So next time, we'll be going over user rights. And then after this, we'll be going over to stuff like user management, firewall, policy violations, like malware, hacking tools, etc. So I'll see you guys in the next video.